That's where we are. There is a new phenomenon called MK Party. We think it will have an impact in KZN.
Could you expand on that?
Well, President Zuma, when he was president of the ANC, declined the ANC support everywhere and only increased it in KZN. And when he lost the presidency, the ANC declined everywhere, including in KZN. But it has never declined under Zuma. So President Zuma enjoys a lot of support from KZN. And that's where we think it's going to have an impact. And even when you look at his strategy, he doesn't do what we do. Saturday, I'm in Northwest. Sunday, I'm in Free State. Thursday, I'm in East London. Because we're a national organization. We're not some organization that relies on some base somewhere. So if MK eat, the ANC were going to eat it proper even without MK in KZN. Now imagine with added MK, if the ANC loses that number in KZN significantly, forget. And let me tell you, Cyril won't be president once the ANC goes below 50%. He's going to resign because his own so-called supporters are going to say, we need to try someone else. So don't even ask me, okay, will you go with Cyril into coalition? Once there is a need for coalition, then you must know there is a need for Cyril to go. And it will not be initiated by the EFF. His own party is going to say, my guy, we need to try someone else. That's how it works. Ruling parties, once they lose position under your leadership, they are the ones who tell you, put it down.
How will that happen given that you're still the president of the ruling party until the next conference?
But Cyril resigned when Pala a panel report came. He resigned. So you have a president who's there by the body, but the soul is gone. Because when you write a letter of resignation, you had a conversation with yourself and came to a conclusion. He has long come to that determination. And not only that letter, on several occasions, the officials of the ANC has been telling them, I've been ready to leave, I can leave at any time. And I hear that investors love him so much and all of that, but you are likely to invest in a wrong horse this time around. Because I don't think that given the things that are happening now, President Ramaphosa stands a chance to come back. They will tell him, when they say resign, they don't mean government. They mean ANC, resign as a president of the ANC. Once you do that, automatically on the other side is done.
Who in your mind is likely to come?
It's their own problem. Don't ask me about people of next door. I don't choose leaders for the ANC. Ask me about EFF and how we're going to do. I don't know.
You always know. You always know.
I don't know. It's their own problem. Let me leave it to them to solve it. But we cannot determine who becomes a leader of the ANC. But we can determine who becomes a leader of South Africa during the negotiations of a coalition.
Tell me I'm wrong here. In my reading of the scenarios,
Yeah.
an ANC-EFF coalition would cause market jitters. Business wouldn't be comfortable with that idea. Am I wrong? Do you ever think about it? Do you ever think about how you manage how the markets perceive you?
In the city where you are, where the market are housed, Johannesburg, that city is under a coalition arrangement of the EFF and the ANC. Why are the markets not jittery? So don't use the markets to scare us. And I know what the market means. It's a synonym for white people. You say markets this, markets that. You effectively mean white people will not be comfortable about that. Who said we're in a business of making them comfortable? We are in the business of making the uncomfortable comfortable and the comfortable uncomfortable. And when you say the comfortable are not comfortable with you, I'm very happy. I'm not in the business of pleasing my oppressor. I'm in a business of pleasing the oppressed. So markets, anyway, the markets don't have a problem. Markets buy diamond, blood diamond, in a country that is characterized by war. And they even sponsor that war to make that country unstable so that they can extract as much resources as possible and make more money. Don't talk about markets as if it's some moral people. They are the most immoral people. They can do anything for profit.
Look, we haven't argued with any of the things you have said because this platform is really about listening to you.
You can argue.
No. We can argue till the cows come home. No, we're not going to do that, but we want to hear you.
Yeah.
This is what this platform. Going back to the markets question.
Yeah.
Again, I want to get into your head a little bit. Mm-hmm. When the rand moves to 19, 20, 21. Whether or not we agree why and the fundamentals around the political analysis which you gave is a separate issue. There's a practical issue as well, where a government is formed. Does it bother you? This is the reality of the situation, that the rand might lose a little bit. Does it practically now?
Well,
How might your politics?
Well, our currency is based on the strength of the dollar. So what you do is, if the West and America and UK are not comfortable with what you stand for, you look for alternative markets. As long as your reserves look good and there is infrastructural development, there is safety and security, there is lowered levels of corruption, if not stopping it at all, markets will look at that and say, okay, I may not like the color red, but is the country functional? And if the country is functional, they will be able to come and invest their money here. No one wants to come and put money in a country where tomorrow you are told some army general from today owns that place. No, the constitution is there, the independence of the judiciary is there, there is a funded infrastructural development in South Africa, the roads are in good conditions, the airports and the ports are in good condition, and there is professionalism in public service, and more money is being made and reserves are looking good, and you are servicing the debt. Why would the markets have a problem with who's ruling?
Okay. Yeah, maybe I can come here along that line of thought, Sam. Your foreign policy views in general, your thinking about South Africa's relationship with the West relative to the likes of China. What's your thoughts there?
Well, we are a progressive internationalist movement that aligns with the left movement all over the world. So we find comfort in China, we find comfort in Cuba, in Vietnam, we find some comfort in Russia. We don't believe in a big brother mentality of the USA. We think that imperialism, wherever it raises its ugly head, must be dealt with in a manner that allows people to participate in the geopolitics as equals. So we are not the kind to bow to the superpowers. We are the ones who say to the superpowers, we are ready to work with you, but we are going to work on our terms and we'll put our country first. And not what the UK want, not what America want. It will come with a pain, but eventually, one day, we'll realize our true freedom. Good things come through a painful process. I'm not a mother. The mothers will tell you that during labor, it's very painful. But once the child is delivered, we forget all of the pain because a beautiful thing came out of this pain.
Would you want South Africa to go through what Zimbabwe is going through?
Zimbabwe went through what they went through because they used the army to want to resolve a political and economic situation. We'll never go through that. We're going through it through the constitution, not militarily, not through a beating up of white people, not through saying white people must leave their farms and all of that. No, that strategy, we don't agree with it. We want all of this to be delivered without a drop of blood. The EFF is not an anti-white organization. It's anti-white monopoly capital organization. There are poor whites who stay in squatter camps who hate EFF because they say EFF is going to take our